Welcome to Mug with Erin. I'm Erin. This is my mug. This is my other mug of sorts. And I'm glad your mug is here today too. Well, it's January 2022. Happy New Year. This is my first mug to mug of the new year. And I'm wearing my Christmas sweater. I'm going to show y'all what it looks like. It's finally, isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, I love my headband that goes with it because the peppers kind of move. But it's finally cold enough in Mississippi for me to wear this sweater. And I've already worn it to the coffee shop, and I might wear it to the basketball game tonight at the high school. So if I walk in that gym wearing a Christmas sweater, I will get strange looks. There's no doubt about that. And why? Why would I get strange looks? Because it's after Christmas. And everyone knows you don't wear Christmas sweaters after Christmas. And we do that with Christmas, don't we? We have food that we only make at Christmas. We have decorations that we only put out at Christmas. We have songs that we sing at Christmas and songs that we listen to at Christmas. And then after Christmas, we put all of that up until the next Christmas. So it is really easy for me to see why we automatically think the Christmas story is only for Christmas. And the reality is that in December, we celebrate that Jesus came. But the rest of the year, we live in the why he came. Why did he come? He came to be with us. He came to be with us in our after December days, in our after the holidays moments, and in our this is so messed up struggles. God knew that we could not navigate life without being crushed under the weight of the brokenness, without God with us, without God living and working in us and through us, without his forgiveness, grace, redemption, peace. We need him. We need his love. We need him with us in every moment of every day. And he is with us. This is Christmas in everyday life. So what does it mean? What do I mean when I say Christmas in everyday life? Does it mean that we have to wear our Christmas sweaters every day? It could, but it doesn't have to. Does it mean that we keep our decorations up year round? I mean, it could, but it doesn't have to. Does it mean that we go really crazy and make peanut brittle and fruitcake in April? We could, but that's not really what I mean. Christmas in everyday life means knowing, believing, and living like God is with us in every moment and in every situation. Because when we think that we're alone, when we live like we're alone, we make terrible choices. We make desperate decisions, and we're not alone. That's the reality. Having a Christmas in everyday life mindset means that we say to God, I don't know what to do. I need your wisdom. Can you help me? It means saying, you say you're with me, but I'm not feeling it. I feel alone. Can you show me how you are with me? Having a Christmas and everyday life mindset means turning to him and saying, I need to know you more. I want to know that you are with me every day. The manger is empty, which tells us that Jesus walked through this broken world. He knows what it's like to live in this world. He knows the struggles that you have. The cross is empty because Jesus rose from the dead and he broke the hold that sin and death have on us. He broke the brokenness of this world and began making things right the way they're supposed to be. And that's why we can live with a Christmas and everyday life mindset. We can walk through our days looking for his fingerprints, for evidence of him in our everyday life. The definition of fingerprint is a unique pattern that presents distinctive evidence of a specific person. I love crime shows, and a fingerprint at a crime scene is important because it puts a person at the crime scene. With the same idea, seeing God's fingerprints in our lives puts him with us in every moment and every situation. So, as we train ourselves and we learn to look for his fingerprints, we will begin to see him all over the place. This week, I've asked my kids to intentionally take note of the times in their days that they see God with them. And it's a training process. Some days they're like, I don't really know. I don't know. So this week has been really hard for one of my daughters. And during this week, one of her friends texted her and reached out and checked on her. And another friend showed up at the door with a hug and a happy to give her. And so these two girls, these two friends, have been the fingerprints of God in my daughter's life. The way they have loved my girl this week has made her feel not alone, has made her feel loved and safe. They have been the fingerprints of God in her life this week. God often uses the people in our lives to show us that he cares for us. And in the same way, he uses us in other people's lives to show them that he is with them. A few weeks ago, as I left to go to the orthodontist with my daughter, I felt kind of prompted to grab a book, one of my books, to give to the hygienist that would help with my daughter. There are several, so I didn't know which one would help the orthodontist, and so I just brought it. So we got to the appointment, and we had some time between the hygienist looking at my daughter and then the orthodontist coming to look at her. So in those moments, I just said, hey, since we have a few minutes, I wrote a book, and I told her what the book was about, and I said, I would like for you to have it. And she teared up, and she said, you have no idea but how much I needed this today. And I looked at the hygienist and said, you're right, I didn't know, but God did. And I wanted her to see this as a time when this was a fingerprint of God on her life at that moment. So God uses all sorts of things in our lives to place his fingerprint. And as we learn to look for them, they will become more evident. Sometimes he uses songs that we hear, or to me, a sunset is an example of God's fingerprint, because this was years ago. I was dealing with a very personal betrayal in my life, and I was so fixated on that betrayal. And one day I was driving home from work, and the sun was setting, and the verse came to mind, your faithfulness reaches to the skies. And I started to think how I'm so fixated on this unfaithfulness or betrayal instead of God's constant faithfulness. So I asked God to remind me when I see a sunset of his faithfulness, to remind me that his faithfulness reaches to the skies, and I can focus on his faithfulness. And the day that I don't see a sunset will be the day that I'm with him, and his faithfulness will be proven. So the sunset to me reminds me of God's faithfulness. It is a fingerprint of God in my life. But God definitely speaks to us through his word. And the more we spend time in his word, even if it's just a few minutes a day, we will begin to get to know him and learn how to see his fingerprints in our lives. So I have two ways that you can begin to cultivate a Christmas and everyday life mindset. The first one is to pull out, if you've already put your decorations out, or leave out your favorite Christmas decoration that reminds you that Jesus is with you, that God is with you. Mine is a large ornament that has, "Oh come, let us adore him" on it. And it just reminds me as I see it through my day that Jesus is with us, and that we can worship him throughout our day, and that he is always, always with us. That's just my reminder. So leave out a Christmas ornament. And the other way is to begin looking for his fingerprints, the evidence that he is with you through your days. And to help you do that, I've designed a printout that has a big fingerprint on it that you can start writing down the ways that you see God with you throughout the day. And writing it down is so important because, for one thing, writing down helps us remember, but also writing down gives us a record. So on the days that we're so discouraged and we're so worn down that we can't even lift our eyes up to him, we can read what he's done. We can remember and be reminded of his faithfulness. So those are the 2 ways that we can cultivate a Christmas and everyday life mindset. There are 2 things that I've done a little differently in this January. I have left my Christmas decorations up for the most part. December was so crazy for my family, and I did not get to sit on the couch and drink my hot chocolate or coffee and just enjoy my Christmas tree and Christmas decorations. So I've left them out. I'm gonna leave them out until I stop enjoying them or get done enjoying them. And it may be tomorrow, it may be next week. But I know there hits a point where the decorations do feel like clutter. And then you know it's time to put them away till next year. But I'm gonna enjoy them as long as I enjoy them. Another thing we've done is we started doing our Advent devotionals as a family after Christmas. We're on day 5, so that's the way that we've done them 5. We've done 5 days. So, but if I tried to do them in December with things being so crazy, we would have either not all been together, or it would have felt like one more thing we had to do. And I never want time with God to feel like one more thing we have to do. So we've done them after Christmas, and it's been really fun to, that makes me fix supper so that we sit down as a family, but also we linger over supper, and then we have our short devotion and light the candles. And the kids, even though they're teenagers, they enjoy lighting the candles. And we've had some good discussions. Not every night, because some nights, you know, people are tired, and but we've had some good discussions, and it's really been what I would have wanted in December, but there's no way with all the activities going on. So, you know, as the world moves on to the next thing and keeps going faster and faster, can we just pause? Can we just pause for a moment and ask God to help us see that he is with us? And this is important because if we believe that he is with us, then we will believe that we are not alone. And if we believe that we're not alone, it will impact the way we live. We will begin to live life differently. We will live life with peace in our hearts and with bold hope in our steps. Thank you for being here today on Mug to Mug with Erin. I'll see you next time.